G'day YouTube, how you doing? I've been off not making any videos for a little while. I just haven't had a great deal of stuff to make videos about, and it's been winter and a bit miserable, so haven't bothered to do anything. But I've been looking at trying to resolve an issue that I have. You know, that my partner, for example, doesn't necessarily get as interested in the solar stuff as I do, and you know, if she's got questions about it, if she can't get a hold of me because say I'm on a mine site or something along those lines, you know, she might think that something's wrong, and she has no way to validate that. I could, you know, show her how to use VRM, and she does look at that, but probably doesn't really get the context. So what I've done instead is I've decided to make a chatbot for it. I did try and post this morning in some of the DIY solar forums, but I got rejected. I guess they probably see this as a little bit too IT and not enough DIY solar. But anyway, I thought I'd share it anyway because I thought it was pretty cool. So what we got is, this is the tool. This is just the first pass. It's you know, like nowhere near ready to go yet. I've got to implement some back-end database stuff. It's just storing everything as a JSON object at the moment, which is not particularly good for, you know, like months and months of data. There's a little interface here that tells you, hey, look, what are your system limits? Like 23 kilowatts of solar, a 90 kilowatt battery. We've got potentially 10 kilowatts of house consumption and 3 kilowatts of grid import or export. Right? It actually exports up to 5, but you get the idea. We're going to source all of our information from MQTT, so that's where my servo controller is. Bring that back up. There's the username and the password, and we're off and racing. At the moment, we've got ChatGPT as an option, Claude as an option, Gemini as an option, and Grok as an option, but I haven't actually tested them. I have tested Olama. Olama is a local AI model system. You can run like various models from it, so I'm using Llama 3.18b. I'll close this and I'll just start fresh. Right? So what the idea is that we are listening to the Victron servo controller, and as it publishes messages, we're keeping information about that. So here we go. We got my 278 solar charger. What's the custom name on that one? That is large 250. So that's the big array down the western side of the house. Currently, voltage is at 56.61, and the current is at 0. This is more or less useless, right? It's useless to anybody other than people who want to programmatically interact with it. So what we do is we expose these things as API endpoints. And I actually delete the thing I was trying to delete. Right, so here we've got a system summary, we've got a battery status, we've got a solar status, we can get information from the time series data store, and we've got available measurements. Let's just go with solar status, right? We don't need to pass in any arguments. We hit this button and we get back information in the same format of each of the solar arrays, right? Now one of them isn't doing anything, that one there, so we're going to use this one as an example. Jump back and let's have a chat with it and see what it's got to say. So I'll say, hey, which of the solar power sources produced, how do I spell that right, most today? Alright, you see down here in the corner there's a little dot dot dot. That means that the AI is responding to us. Now, because I'm running it on a local GPU, it takes a little bit longer. The solar power source that produced the most today is the PV inverter instance ID 232, which is the Fronius Primo, and it has yielded 40.7. Now, I don't think that's true. I think that there's a mess up here, and it's treating my grid-tied solar as the one that's producing all the power. I'll fix that. That's probably a coding issue. Which one of the MPPTs produced the most power today? So right now you've got to use this little web interface to talk to it, but I wanted to, here we go, the MPPT that produced the most power was the large 150 with a VE can, and it produced, well, it's producing 240. What about most yield? See what it does. Large 150, which did 10.51. Okay. What about the large? I don't think it can actually take this argument. What about the large 250? Oh, it did. Look at that. Ah, see, so it actually got that wrong. So I wonder why it thought that the 150 produced the most. Can you list them in order of who produced most to lowest? This is the problem with using a local AI model. If I was using ChatGPT, which obviously you've got to pay for, the model's not, it won't hallucinate as much. Actually, something that while we're waiting for that to happen, here we go. So large 250, I got it right this time. Large 250, we've got 36.29 kilowatts, 33.87. So yeah, that's not actually in the correct order, but this is an issue with that AI model, not with anything else. If I turn the debugs on, you can actually see the information that's receiving from the API, which I thought was pretty cool. This is the tool that's calling, and you can see all the various information that's in there. This is still only an alpha build, so I'm not overly concerned about the quality right now. When it's all up and running, we'll identify a model that works best for it. How's the battery looking? Also, if you're using ChatGPT, this would be significantly quicker. But you're going to pay through the nose for the tokens. Battery's looking good. The state of charge is 100%, which means it's fully charged. The voltage is also within the normal range. The current and power are both negative, indicating the system is currently discharging using power from the battery. This is expected when the solar panel is not producing power. It's worth noting that the time to go 240 hours indicates how long the battery can continue to provide power at the current consumption rate. In this case, it would take 240 hours for the battery to completely drain if no more energy is added. What's the consumption inside the house? I suppose what we could do eventually, if I can get this working good enough, is we can just host it as an app that you can speak to maybe through Facebook. The consumption inside the house is approximately 539913 watts on average. The minimum consumption was around 5620. And the maximum, okay, so this is the AI model actually making a mistake. What I've got to do is add some context here, because what it's doing is it's misconstruing the grid feedback as consumption. So where are we? Solar, grid, here we go. It's misconstruing that grid negative number, that one there. Yeah, look, there it is. So it thinks we're consuming that because the grid says that we've got 5,000 watts coming in, and roughly the same numbers there. So the minimum and maximum, they're actually flipped the other way. What it's done is omitted the negative. So I've got to give it more context, right? So this is, again, we're still in the alpha stage, like of putting this together. It's just sort of just been a couple of day brain fart to see what we can make happen. But I need to give it context here, that when it's exporting, we are not consuming this power. There is another value somewhere. It'll be in the state that is, it's a derived number that comes directly from, I think it's under system, that determines what your consumption is. There it is. So consumption on input, consumption on output. This is real. So what I've got to do is go back now, create another API endpoint that takes the current power and says this is actually the consumption on output. So that would mean that we'll end up with, let's close this up. So we get another one here that would say, hey, you can get the current house consumption versus grid, feedback or whatnot. I don't think this one does anything. Oh, it does, look at that. So yeah, okay, we just rename this one. So this is an inverter charger, the bus power is the consumption there. PV. Look, I think that object's way too big. That would just confuse it. Yeah. So that's what I'll do. In the next build, if anybody's got any feedback, chuck it in the comments. In the next build, obviously we've got to diversify the summarised information, give the AI model more information about it so it doesn't make outlandish claims like it's just done here. It's a bit silly, really. But yeah, I mean, work in progress, right? Let's have a look. Over here. Right, so this is actually the model. And you can see here I've already had a chat with it, and it doesn't, the model itself has got no idea about the solar array. So I'm still not aware of any real-time data on specific solar arrays, but when I ask in here, and I'll ask the same question, it does get information about the solar array. So that basically depicts that you send a message to the AI looks through the tools it can call, chooses the best tool to call, and there's usually a hint that tells it, hey, you should call this function, or that you should call this tool when you've got a question that relates to X, so in this case it's solar. It might call one or two of them, might call three or four of them, get back the information it wants, then it responds to the client. So you can make these things relatively clever. I mean, I'm probably speaking to the choir because I'm sure everybody's aware how AI models work, but for those guys who are doing like DIY solar, this might be a handy little, if we can make it work right, it might be a handy little tool for everyone to use. Anyway, we've swapped the awning on the caravan. I've got a bit of wiring to do on that. We're going to add an extra solar panel or two to the van, and then I will try and get back to normal solar videos. It is summer now, the sun's out, and yeah, I'll try and get back to some regular sort of video making. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you've got any comments about what I've done, chuck it down in the thing below. If you